Hello everyone, I'm Ari Lax, and this week in anticipation of Grand Prix Pittsburgh this upcoming weekend, and the StarCityGames.com Invitational in Las Vegas coming up on December 11th through 13th. Both of these events feature modern, so I'm going to test a little bit with the modern deck I would consider for both events, which is Tron. Um, so the big deal with Tron is that it got this card, not that one. That is also a card from Battle for Zendikar, but I'm talking about this one. Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger. So previously, Ulamog the Infinite Gyre saw pretty minimal play in the deck. It was like one of those cards that a bunch of people like would put one of in their deck, but it was never actually that good. Um, but just doubling up from 1 to 2 permanents on cast, being exiled, is really huge. This card is very powerful. There's a lot of the math that like works out really well with it. Like it takes a full land less than the old Ulamog 2. So old Ulamog was an 11 drop, um, which meant that it took a minimum of 5 lands to cast it, right? So it was tower, power plant, mine, full Tron. Another tower still doesn't do it. So you still need another land. And if you have like tower, power plant, mine, extra mine, you still need your fifth land to be another colorless land to get there. Whereas 10 is 4 lands, 2 towers in the Tron, so that's 10. Or if you have an extra minor power plant, so Tron 7, minor power plant 9, any land in your deck. So Grove, Forest, they all do that. So that's pretty great in comparison. It also kills. Well, I mean, it's about the same rate. Annihilator 4 kills in about 2 attacks. This kills in about 2 attacks. Uh, Also noteworthy, again, another card. That's 2 cards this year that this deck has got. That's really absurd for a linear, like, modern deck like this. Oh, not you, Karn. You're cool, but Ugin's also really cool. Um, this list doesn't even bother playing Pyroclasm. It just plays a bunch of Oblivion Stones and Ugins. Part of this, I think, is because Zoo doesn't really care about Pyroclasm. It's like one of the big Zoo decks right now. Um, this list is based off of the top 4 list, by the way. It's 1 card off of what I believe Ray Morales, sorry if I got that name wrong, top 4 the Star City Open in Dallas with a couple weeks back. I opted to play a Ulamog instead of the Void Winnower because I think Ulamog is just awesome, and I'm not sure on Void Winnower. And I think this card is just way too cool not to play more than one of right now. So there's no Pyroclasm. You've got Spellskite kind of in that spot and more Ugins. So you've got a lot of big interaction, which is good against mid-range decks, Jund, that kind of stuff. But you also have Spellskite, which is good against like Twin in the main deck, gives you more hedge there. It hedges more against Infect a little bit. Um, Hedges more against Bogles than Pyroclasm. It just it feels like it's a swap that's kind of you have a card in the same slot of this 2 mana interaction, and in this case, this is just happens to be the best one right now for this metagame. Still the same effective 12 bonus Tron pieces, 12 Tron pieces, 8 lands. Same things you see all the time. 3 Worm Coils instead of 4. Um, I'm assuming one of those slots went to a Nugan as sort of your mid-rangey threat. Still an Emrakul's because that card's just the best and uncounterable and unbeatable. Still stars, still spheres. Moving down on relics has been pretty common since Ugin has started to take up more space in the deck. Moving to the board, more Spellskites, more Torpor Orbs. Again, common ways to beat Twin. Torpor Orbs good against, well, they're both good against Amulet too. You'll notice there's 2 Ghost Quarters in the main, so there's not a bonus one on the board. That's probably pretty stocked by now. Sundering Titan, I'm not 100% on. I've played with it before. I don't think it's actually that exciting, especially with Ulamog. You know what? We're going to switch it up right now because Ulamog is way too cool and probably just cooler than Sundering Titan is. So, Sundering Titan, you're off the team. More Ulamogs all day. Exile all of their permanents. I like this new game plan. Crumble to Dust to break the mirror if you play against it. Rending Volleys against Twin. A split on Nature's Claim and Vandal Blast for that effect. There's some things you do have to claim, like Pyromancer Ascension. Vandal Blast is a little sweepier against Affinity, though I don't actually know if this is even fast enough to matter most of the time. It's worth a try. And then Pyroclasm, because if you don't have this card somewhere in your 75, you're definitely doing it wrong. Um, really, with this deck, you're kind of shifting around. You've got your Spellskites, your Relics, your Oblivion Stones, your Ugins. Those are the cards that are really shifting most of the time. Not a lot of, sometimes you shift Wormcoil Engines out because they're just not enough in the matchup, like a combo matchup where you just have to actually remove them from being able to play the game. Uh, by them, I mean their permanents. But you'll see the same slots kind of going in and going out. Um, the sideboard's just like good cards. It's not like there's like really too many in-depth plans. You just gotta jam the same cards in and out most. Tron is very, very straightforward in terms of how it works. You can't dilute the actual deck because that's how your deck functions. You're not gonna like make your deck better by taking out things that find Tron pieces because you just play all your Tron lands. That's how you win. Um, yeah, there's not a lot to talk about really beyond that. These are just the most powerful cards they can play, really. And you just kind of shove them at your opponent and you hope it works, which, when it does, generally pretty fun.